In the previous lecture, we have seen the contravariant vectors. Now, today we are going to discuss the concept of covariant vectors. As you know, vectors are quantities which is also called tensors of rank 1. So you can also say that we are going to discuss the tensor of first rank, but those tensors are covariant tensors. So how we will define the covariant vectors or covariant tensor of rank 1? You can see this just on the basis of the previous concept. As you have seen, in case of contravariant vectors, we have considered actually two coordinate systems or two reference frames, and we have defined the contravariant vectors by a particular transformation law. Similarly, the covariant vectors will be also defined in terms of a particular transformation law. So let us consider two coordinate systems. One is unprimed coordinate system, let us say S, and another is a primed coordinate system, let us say S prime. And we consider that there are n quantities which I have denoted here by the symbols A1, A2, so on An. Here you can see the subscripts are actually used. So these are actually the symbols for the covariant vectors. So a set of n quantities we have considered in the coordinate system S, and those quantities are A1, A2, so on An. Or in brief, you can say that these n quantities are simply Ai, where I runs from 1 to n. Now, these quantities have the values, let us say Ai prime in another coordinate system S prime, in which the variables are x prime mu. In fact, these quantities Ai are known as the components of a covariant vector if they get transformed into the another coordinate system S prime by this particular law which I have mentioned here. If you consider that the values of these quantities Ai in coordinate system S prime are A prime mu, then if A prime mu is equal to Ai times del xi by del x prime mu, then you can say that these quantities Ai are the components of a covariant vector. Remember this, you can remember this law of transformation by a simple technique. Here actually you can see that the subscript mu have been used for the coordinates to define in S prime frame, and it is in the lower position as a subscript. So just remember a technique that if there is a subscript, that is the subscript is at the lower position, then the coordinates of S prime frame will be in the denominator. This is just a technique to remember it. So you have to take the partial derivative of the independent variables of the S coordinate system, that is xi, with respect to the independent variables in the coordinate system S prime, and then we multiply the components of the covariant vector in frame S, and then we get actually the components of the covariant vector in frame S prime. So remember this. This is the transformation law in accordance with which a covariant vector gets transformed from frame S to frame S prime. This is the basic definition, you can say, of covariant vectors. Now after getting the idea or getting the concept of just the definition of covariant vector, we will see its two important properties first of all. The first property, as you have seen in the case of contravariant vector, is just like that. The first property says that transformation of a covariant vector is transitive, or this statement can also be written in this form, that transformation of a covariant vector form a group. And another property I have mentioned here, that if you want to find the components of a covariant vector in frame S and you know its components in frame S prime, then how we can find? This is just the converse of the definition of covariant vector. So in this condition, you can see that the components of a covariant vector in frame S prime, which I have denoted here by Aj, will be equal to A prime, sorry, here there will be subscript, not the superscript. So just write the subscript, because this is covariant components of covariant vectors. So A prime mu times del x prime mu by del xj. You can see this property and the definition. This is just converse of this definition. So here actually the partial derivative of the independent variables of in S prime frame have been taken with respect to the independent variables of frame S. So this is just the converse of the definition of the covariant vector. Now we will explain these two properties, or you can say we will prove these two properties of the covariant vector. So let us say first of all the proof or the explanation of the first property, which actually says that the transformation of a covariant vector is transitive or it forms a group. For this, let us consider there are three coordinate systems. First one we denote by the symbol S, the another by the symbol S prime, and the third one by the symbol S double prime. And the independent variables in frame S we denote by the symbol xi. In frame S prime we denote it by x prime I, and in frame S double prime we denote the independent variables by the symbol x double prime I. So according to this property, if you transform a covariant vector from frame S to S prime and then from S prime to S double prime, the result will be same as if you transform the given covariant vector directly from S to S double prime. So you can say that a transformation of a covariant vector from S to S prime and after that S prime to S double prime, or you can say that if we transform the covariant vector from the independent variables xi to x prime I, and after that x prime I to x double prime I, this result will be same as we transform the covariant vector from S frame to directly to S double prime frame, or from xi to x double prime I. Result will be same. But how you can say that the transformation of a covariant vector from frame S to S prime and after that S prime to S double prime results same as there is a transformation of the same vector directly from S to S double prime. Let us see. For this, let us consider first of all that when we consider the transformation from xi to xi prime, so for the transformation for the transformation S to S prime, or you can say xi to x prime I. If we consider that there is a covariant vector in frame S whose components are, let us say, AU, and those components are in fact A prime V, let us say, in frame S prime. In fact, in that condition, according to the definition of covariant vector, you can easily say what will be A prime V. You can say, as the components of this covariant vector in frame S is AU, so first of all we will write AU. Now we will differentiate the independent variables of frame S with respect to the independent variables of frame S prime. So here since I have written the covariant vector by the symbol AU, so we have taken the subscript U. So write here the independent variables by del XU. So del XU by del X prime V. Del X prime V. This is just according to the definition of the covariant vector. Now, once you get the components of this covariant vector AU in the frame S prime, which we have denoted by the symbol A prime V. So now consider that these are the components of a covariant vector in frame S prime, and we have to find these components in the frame S double prime. So for the transformation S prime to S double prime, or you can say X prime I to X double prime I. In fact, now you can say that the components of our covariant vector in frame S prime are what? These are A prime V. And let us consider that these components in S double prime frame are A double prime J. Let us consider. So again, using the definition of covariant vector or the law of transformation of covariant vector, you can easily define this A double prime J if you know this A prime V. So from the definition of covariant vector, you can say what will be this A double prime J. First of all, write A prime V. Now you can say we will differentiate the independent variables of frame S prime, that is del X prime V by del X double prime J. But you can see the value of this A prime V as we have defined in equation 1. So if you will make a use of this equation 1 here, then you can replace this A prime V by this expression. So using equation 1 instead of A prime V, now we will write AU del XU by del X prime V, and times the remaining factor is del x prime v by del x double prime j. Now you can see this del x prime v and this del x prime v, this will be actually equal to 1. So finally we get au del x u by del x double prime j, and say this is your equation 2. So in this way we have defined the components of the given covariant vector in frame S double prime in terms of its components in frame S, that is AU. Now if we want to find the transformation law for the transformation directly from frame S to S double prime, or you can say from xi to xi double prime. So as you know, in frame S the components of the given covariant vectors are, vector is actually AU, and in this frame S double prime we have considered it, these are A double prime J. So by the transformation law, according to which the covariant components of covariant vectors get transformed, you can write for this transformation that A double prime J will be equal to what? First of all we will write AU, and then you know we will write del XU and divided by del X double prime J, you can say, and say this is your equation 3. Now compare this equation number 2 and this equation number 3. You can see that A double prime J is equal to AU del XU by del X double prime J, and this equation also says the same thing. So you can see that this equation 3 and 2 are just identical. It means if we make direct transformation from xi to x double prime I, then result is same as we get this A double prime J by the successive transformation, that is from S to S prime and after that S prime to S double prime. The result is same as we make the transformation directly from S to S double prime, and that's why we say that the transformation of covariant vector form a group, or it is transitive. So from 2 and 3 we find that the transformation of a covariant vector from xi to x prime I and x prime I to x double prime I and xi to x double prime I are same, and hence we say that the transformation of a covariant vector is transitive or it forms a group. So I hope you have understand this property clearly. Now, after getting the idea of this first property of covariant vector, we will see the second property of this covariant vector, which I have mentioned it here. Here, as you can see, according to this property, if you know the components of a covariant vector in the prime frame, that is S prime frame, it means you know the values of A prime mu, then by using this property or this transformation law, you can find the components of the same vector in frame S, that is Aj can be obtained by this transformation law. So I again just repeat this property, and after that we will explain it. So according to this property, the components of a covariant vector in frame S are given by components of the same vector in frame S prime, that is A prime mu times del x prime mu by del xj, del xj. Now you can easily prove this property by using the definition of the covariant vector. So you can see, according to definition of a covariant vector, you can see what will be this A prime mu. You know, according to definition of the covariant vector, if we consider that in frame S prime the components of the covariant vector are Ai, then A prime mu you can write this will be equal to Ai and del xi by, can you say what will be in the denominator? This will be del x prime mu, you know it. So we will use this definition of the covariant vector in this given expression. So therefore, let us see here. A prime mu del x prime mu by del xj. What will be this? Here, instead of this A prime mu, you can use this definition. You can see here. So it will be Ai del xi by del x prime mu times del x prime mu by del xj. Now you can see this will be in fact Ai del xi by del xj and del x prime mu by del x prime mu. And you can see this is in fact Ai. What is this? Del xi by del xj. You know this is in fact Kronecker delta ij. And del x prime mu by del x prime mu, this is delta prime mu, Kronecker delta mu. But as you know, when both the indices of the Kronecker delta are same, then its value is 1. So this delta prime mu, this will be equal to 1. So this is simply Ai delta ij. because you know this delta prime mu mu is equal to 1. Now if we take I equal to j, then this Kronecker delta ij will be also equal to 1. But if I and j will be different, then actually its value is 0. So then the result will be in fact 0. So to get the result which we have to prove, let us take. So take I equal to j. Then you can see this a prime mu del x prime mu by del xj. What will be this? See here. This will be aj, because here is ai, but we have taken I equal to j. So instead of I have written here j, and delta jj. But you know delta jj will be equal to 1. So this is equal to simply aj, because this Kronecker delta is now equal to 1. So what you are getting, you can see that this aj is equal to a prime mu times del x prime mu by del xj. So this is the property which we have to actually prove, and you can see in this way, if you know the components of a covariant vector in the primed frame, that is you know a prime mu, then by this transformation law you can find its components in the unprimed frame. And from the definition, if we know the components in the unprimed frame, that is ai are known, you can see here the definition, then by this transformation law you can find its components in frame S prime. So in this way the both property of the covariant vector you have explained. Now after getting the idea of the covariant vector and the contravariant vector, in the next lecture we will see the concept of the tensor of higher rank. First of all we will see the tensor of second rank, and then we will see the tensor of any rank, or you can say an arbitrary rank.